This is fire. Shocking, I know. For the longest time, humans depended on this blazing source for their cooking, warmth, and light. But if you haven't noticed, we humans have come a long way from those times, inventing new sources of cooking, finding new ways to heat our homes, and scraping together new forms of light. However, as I'm sure someone has said, everything has a cost. This time, it's not money. These new technologies require electricity to stay operating. Well, how do we produce this energy? That's the problem. Currently, the most common way of producing energy is by burning fossil fuels in a power plant with a system such as this. The issue that comes with this is that by burning these fossil fuels, we release 43 trillion pounds of greenhouse gases per year. That might not seem bad at surface, but those are numbers from only the top 5 producers of greenhouse gases. As many of you probably know, these greenhouse gas emissions have disastrous effects on the atmosphere and environment. So, how do we stop this? Enter renewable energy. These forms of producing energy harness the elements of nature without emitting greenhouse gases. Dozens of ways to produce clean energy, though we only have so much space, time, and money to divert to this cause. We have to make sure that the way we use our limited space, time, and money is really worth it, with us reaping rewards greater than what we put in. Okay, so we know that we need to switch to alternative energy, and we know what our options are somewhat, so what do we do now? Well, it seems that a common consensus is that solar energy is the way to go. It's cost effective and space efficient, so solar energy seems to be standing out above the rest as the best source of alternative energy to take us into the future. However, solar energy has its fair share of disadvantages, so let's see for ourselves. Will solar energy help us get to that glorious mark of carbon neutrality? To find out, let's define the categories we will be using to judge solar energy as a reliable means of alternative energy. First and foremost, we need to make sure that solar panels can even power the nation. Secondly, we need to make sure that the number of solar panels needed can fit easily into the land we have without completely covering the country. And lastly, the integration process. Would we be able to do all this in a decent time span? Let's start at the top. The power output. Well, the United States uses around 3,879 billion kilowatt hours per year, with that data coming from 22. The projected amount to be used for 2022 is 3.9 trillion, and it only goes up from there. That's a lot of power. Will solar energy be able to support our insatiable needs?
Purely from the standpoint of technology, first of all, if you say, uh, can solar panels physically produce the amount of energy that we expect to be consuming between now and 2050? In theory, yes. Right? We have the technology where solar panels are efficient enough at converting um, sunlight to energy, and we have enough solar panel technology and solar panel companies that exist now to be able to have low enough costs.
Okay, so that was quick. So, plain answer yes. Solar energy will be able to power the nation because, quite simply, the sun has a lot of energy. Next on our list, space. The average solar panel is 65 by 39 inches, leading to a square area of 2,535 inches. Let's turn that to feet for simplicity's sake, and we get approximately 7 square feet for one solar panel. Each solar panel produces approximately 500 kilowatt hours per year on the low side of a solar panel's energy production range. Let's pull in that statistic from earlier. This might get a bit mathy. 3.9 trillion kilowatt hours divided by 500 kilowatt hours a single solar panel produces per year gets us 7.8 billion. This means we need 7.8 billion panels to power our projected needs. 7 square feet times 7.8 billion gets us 54 billion square feet, and that's about the size of Rhode Island. So we have the space to put it. We also have to consider that we don't have to put it all on a field somewhere. We can put it on buildings and companies, and they can produce their own electricity. Companies such as IKEA are already implementing this. Alrighty, the integration process. Now, as a society, we can't just decide to switch to solar, and just like that, all our problems are gone. We need to implement solar somehow. So, how would we do that? Well, it's looking like it's going to be a pretty incremental process.
It's like a money thing and a policy thing. I think those are kind of the biggest um, like challenges when it comes to time for integration. Um, there are of course a lot of things that can there are a lot of things that can speed it up. So if like you have a policy or that says you have to implement more solar, or um, a state can set a renewable energy target to say like I want this percentage of my energy to come from renewable sources by 2025, and that provides some kind of goal that the energy providers have to work with. Um, there are a lot of other things that like could speed it up, but um, the short answer to the question is it's going to happen slowly.
So we've got our answer, right? Solar is the way to go. It's going to get us all the way there to carbon neutrality. We've got all the info, and it seems to be able to back up its top spot claim. And that's what I thought too, but something kept being brought up in my interview with Mr. Muralidharan. So first, kind of ballpark question, like, with regards to solar energy, how efficient will it be at reducing carbon emissions? Will it be able to get us to that carbon neutrality mark by 2050?
Um, I think generally solar energy uh, is accepted as part of the solution, and maybe not the entire thing, but a pretty significant part.
Solar can't carry us there. The energy sector which solar affects is large, but things like transportation, which makes up the majority of our pollution output, though even if solar isn't able to carry us there, it is doing a pretty good job of helping. A solar panel has carbon footprint 20 times less than that of carbon-based sources. If you want to help, installing solar panels into your house will immediately reduce your carbon footprint. Thanks for watching.